So yesterday, we were really excited with breaking news in the fertility space, really. And that was that finally, after years of us asking for it, the name and the term Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome has been abolished, has been removed, and it's now been changed with an entirely new name. The new name is called Polyendocrine Metabolic Ovarian Syndrome. And I'm going to discuss a little bit about why it's important that they've changed the name and what it means to you, the person out there who suffers with this condition. So the big reasons why we are excited that they've changed the name of Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome is because, first of all, women with Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome never really had any cysts in their ovaries. So this is a term that was given to the condition many, many years ago. And actually, it was characterized by lots and lots of follicles or egg sacs inside the ovary. But giving it a term polycystic ovaries has always given it this connotation that we're talking about a primarily ovarian disorder and a disorder that meant that the ovaries were full of these cysts, which actually they weren't. These are ovaries that can be crowded with follicles or egg sacs, and that's where the name Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome came from. So the new name, Polyendocrine Metabolic Ovarian Syndrome, tells us that this condition is about a lot more than just the ovaries, and that it affects lots of different hormones. It affects our metabolic system, and it also involves the ovary. And the ovary plays a part in this condition and not the primary source of the problem. So we've always used a criteria which we call the Rotterdam criteria to make the diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And what the Rotterdam criteria calls for is that a woman should have 2 out of 3 arms of this criteria. The one involved the ovaries, and that was the multicystic or polycystic, which we would prefer to call polyfollicular ovaries. So this is a woman who's got more than 15 antral follicles or egg sacs in each ovary. And that's one of the arms of the Rotterdam criteria. The other 2 arms, one relates to menstrual cycles, and that would be if a woman has very few or no menstrual cycles at all, which we call oligoanovulation. And the last arm is where women have something we call hyperandrogenism. So this is either proven to have high male hormone in their bloods, or clinically they show signs of hyperandrogenism. So these are women who struggle with cystic acne, thinning hair, sometimes even baldness. These women also suffer with hair growing in areas which primarily affect men, so facial hair, back hair, stomach hair, and things like that. So we always concentrated on the ovaries alone, but actually the condition affected a lot more than just the ovaries. What's changed with regards to the treatment of now polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome, and that's not a lot. So we still treat our patients in 2 different arms. Those women who are looking to fall pregnant, we treat them in a specific way. And those women who are not looking to fall pregnant, and it's more about treating their life, their lifestyle, the effects that this condition has on them, we treat them in a different way. And it's important to know what we're treating. We now have a better idea of this condition affecting so much more than just the ovaries. We know how to treat it, and we know to treat women differently depending on what they're looking for at their time. Are we treating their symptoms of the condition, or are we treating the infertility that may come along with this condition?